everybody, my name is Joanna, and this Monday we got the news that Buffy the Vampire Slayer, one of my absolute favorite shows, is getting a sequel series, and that Sarah Michelle Gellar, the actress who played the titular Buffy, will be returning in a recurring role in this show. Unlike a lot of fans that seem to be against this, I'm actually super excited for this idea. Obviously, I'm as tired of remakes and reboots as much as the other person, but I think Buffy is such a good option for a modernization because although some plot points and character archetypes are definitely outdated, I think the general concept and themes of the show are very timeless. There's a reason why there are so many shows that are still coming out that are inspired by Buffy. And I think these themes could work really well with elements from the present. Also, it is a sequel series, not a reboot. So there's still room for original storytelling, and it's not here to replace the original. The OG Buffy show ended with some pretty big status quo changes, and I will love to see how they will explore the way those changes have affected the world in this new show. And so today's video will be a little bit more casual. I'm just going to talk to you guys a little bit about my hopes and expectations for this new Buffy series, what I hope will happen. This is not very scripted, I just took a few notes and I'm going to read and discuss about them, and it's probably also going to be my shortest video, so that's fun. If you have any thoughts or expectations or theories, feel free to comment because there's so much for us to speculate, to be excited about, to be worried about, so I would love to hear your thoughts too. And I think this should be fun, so let's go. Hello everybody, so my name is Joanna, but I also like to be positive. So the first thing I hope is that the season will be at least 12 episodes long. What made Buffy so great was not only the overarching plots and narratives, but also the character development, and the filler episodes is really when these moments shined. Shone? What is the past of shine? I think it's shown. But yeah, it's when the characters really got to develop, and also they would get to explore all these really fun Monster of the Week concepts that I really hope we will get. Something that a lot of people have been talking about these past years, I feel like, is that we miss seasons of TV that are like 20 episodes long, and I think this is unrealistic to expect, like it's not going to happen. But being realistic, I would like 12 episodes. I think it's a good bridge between the 20 episode long seasons and the ones with 6 or 8 episodes. And the first season of Buffy, the actual show Buffy the Vampire Slayer that came out in 1997, was only 12 episodes long, and it managed to have a full overarching narrative and also some pretty good filler episodes that showed us character and also some fun Monster of the Week activities. So I think 12 episodes is a good compromise of both forms of storytelling. Another thing I hope is that they won't recycle Buffy's character arc for this new Slayer character. In case you don't know, what we know of the show for now is that the main character will be a new Slayer and Buffy will be playing the sort of mentor role. She will only be a recurring role, not the main character. So I hope this new Slayer will have a different character arc than Buffy. I say that because I genuinely think Buffy's development throughout the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer is one of the best written in television. Her arc of the reluctant chosen hero accepting her responsibilities is so good, it's so well written and developed, and I don't think this new show would be able to come close to it, first of all. But also, like, things changed pretty drastically at the end of Buffy. Oh, so just so you know, this video will have spoilers. If you haven't seen the original Buffy, first of all, you probably won't understand what I'm talking about anyway, but you know, if you want to watch Buffy, don't watch this video because I'm spoiling things that happen at the end of that show. But yeah, it wouldn't make sense for this new character also to have Buffy's arc because the whole point is that Buffy was the only one, she was the only chosen one, she had all the responsibility of the world in her shoulders, all of the weight of the world. Did you like my pun with an episode title? I hope you did. But yeah, anyway, she had the weight of the world in her shoulders, and this is not the case anymore now that all the potentials have been activated and are Slayers. So it wouldn't even make sense to give the new Slayer the same arc as Buffy. A character archetype that I think I would like to see for this new Slayer is like this overly excited new Slayer that is so excited and looking forward to help people and to save the world, and then she will end up getting hardened by the reality of her role as a Slayer, of how things are actually hard. She might not be able to save someone she really wanted to save, which I know is kind of like Buffy's arc in season 7 episode 4 Help. However, it is only one episode that Buffy goes through that. I think it would be more interesting. No, she has the thing where she has to kill Angel at the end of season 2, which you could argue is also kind of that, like she couldn't save Angel because there were greater things. But I think it would be interesting to have this as the main thing for this new Slayer, because then we can have a character who isn't necessarily a brooding character or like a low energy character. Like she can be a very excitable Slayer too. Like Buffy's super energetic and, you know, outgoing, and I think this new Slayer could be that too, but different from Buffy. She can be excited about her job and then realize that maybe she was a little naive in being so excited about it. Think like fireman is what I was thinking, like someone who becomes a fireman because they want to save lives and then they are struck by the reality of the job, of how hard it actually is. I think this would be super interesting. This is what I think the new Slayer should be like, but this is my opinion. Something that I hope so much is that the tone of this new show will be similar to the tone of the original. I'm really afraid that they are going to do a Riverdale-fication of Buffy. And, you know, Buffy has its melodramatic teen drama moments. It is a teen drama. It has that type of thing.
Oh. When you kiss me, I want to die.
And that's what you missed on Glee.
But one of the main things about Buffy is that it's also funny. It's silly. Funny things happen.
I'm Dracula.
Get out.
Out for a walk. Bitch.
Anya, how is your money?
Fine. Thank you for asking.
Here's something I think you're going to be interested in, gentle viewers. Look at the fine work Xander did on replacing that window.
Date and shop and hang out and go to school and save the world from unspeakable demons. You know, I want to do girly stuff.
Hi, Mr. Beach. I was just wondering, were you planning on killing a bunch of people tomorrow? Oh, it's for the yearbook.
And I hope that they don't lose this playfulness and unseriousness. I like the Buffy speak. I know a lot of people have gotten tired of it because it got really popular after Buffy was over and so many shows and movies and stuff began employing this type of dialogue. I like the Buffy speak. I don't watch superhero movies. This is something I see a lot of people complaining about, is that there's too much Buffy speak on like Marvel movies. The only Marvel stuff I've seen are the Spider-Man movies, because I love Spider-Man. He's my favorite superhero. The only superhero I care about, actually, Across the Spider-Verse is one of my 4 favorite movies on Letterboxd. But the point is, I hope they have a similar tone of dialogue too. I hope Buffy won't be turned into Giles 2.0, because one thing we know about this new show is that Buffy will be the sort of mentor figure, and I find that interesting. I think this can show a lot of development from Buffy from where we left off. She was kind of in a mentor position with the potentials in season 7, but I would like to see where she is now. I think this is interesting, but I hope again that she isn't a Giles 2.0, like they don't turn her into this, you know, super serious academic person, because this has nothing to do with Buffy, and it's just something that worries me, because a lot of times when reboots are made or sequels are made, they sort of create the same dynamic from the original show with new characters, and it ends up feeling like the same thing, and this is not what I want. I don't want Buffy to be taking the role of Giles, if that makes sense. I want Buffy to be Buffy, but have this new role. Okay, there's something really silly that I want to happen. I want Angel and Spike to show up, and the show will just not acknowledge that they look super old, even though they are supposed to be vampires frozen in age. Like, Angel was supposed to be 26, and yes, he looks like this, and you'll have to deal with it. I think this would be really funny. Okay, this is a major one, but I hope the comics aren't canon. I don't think they will be, but if they are, oh my god, where do I even begin? One thing that I feel like is really important is that I want the show to be able to stand on its own. Obviously, there will be a lot of callbacks to the original show, and there will be probably a lot of recurring guest stars that will be the characters from the original show, and I want all of that. Obviously, I think this will be super fun. However, I want the show to have its own storylines, its own locations, its own characters. I don't want it to feel like literally just a rehash of the original show, because obviously it will not be the same thing. And I just want new monsters and stuff. I think there's a lot of new things that teenagers these days are going through that they can represent through new monsters, and I hope they get creative with it. I think there's definitely plot lines that they can use from the original show and just add a modern twist. Like, I'm thinking that one where Willow has an online boyfriend. There turns out to be a monster in I said robot in a really funny way. iRobot Eugene, episode 8, I think, of season 1. I think this would be pretty funny in like a Tinder situation or something. But I hope they write social media. This is something I'm always scared about teen shows from these days, is the way they write social media. I hope it will be accurate to real life teenagers, you know? I hope the people who are writing the show are like talking to young people and knowing what they sound like and what they speak like and the things that are popular with them. And I'm saying with them because I'm not a high schooler anymore. If you haven't seen any of my videos, I'm in college. I know I look 14. I'm not, okay? But yeah, I think there's a lot of new experiences that come with being a teenager in the 21st century, in the 2020s, and I would be interested to see how they will deal with this with monsters. This is what's the exciting part. There are so many episodes of Buffy that I feel like are very timeless, like the stuff going on. They are using outdated technology and using outdated language, but you watch it and you think, this is something people go through in high school, you know, and I hope that they can keep this timeless feel while also adapting to what is going on. I think this will be an interesting thing that I'm excited to see how they will deal with. I don't know if excited is the right word. I'm worried about because, as I said, I don't know if this is because I wasn't a teenager in the 90s. I was not born in the 90s, so I have no idea if Buffy is accurate to what being a teenager was like. I suppose it's probably not, because that's usually how fiction works. But most of the times when I watch a TV show that is supposed to be depicting people my age, I always find it so unrealistic. There are some exceptions. There are some teen dramas that I like and I feel like are pretty... Funnily enough, I think the teen drama... I don't know if it's a drama. It's a drama comedy, I guess, that I feel like captures what my high school experience was like, I guess, and the people I interacted with in high school the most is an Australian show called Heartbreak High. I don't know if you guys know this show. I really like it. It's really funny, but it's the one show I have seen that I thought, yeah, I knew people like this. I went through stuff like this. Like, this feels pretty accurate. Guys, what I meant by accurate was like character dynamics and this type of stuff. My school was never burnt down. Actually, the school I used to attend before high school, so when I was in middle school, I attended a Catholic school that used to be like this girls' school that was like, how do you say that? A boarding school. It was boarding school, but it got turned into like a normal school, a co-ed school in the 60s after it got burnt because one of the nuns who used to work there lived there actually. She lived there. She dropped a candle on the floor of a chapel that was made like a wooden chapel, and the whole thing caught on fire, and the only thing that survived was a willow tree. I don't know if it was a willow tree. Some sort of tree that is still there. So yeah, this is what I meant. I meant in like character dynamics. The plot lines, not very realistic, but that's obvious because it's a fictional show. But yeah. The point is, I want the show to feel, the emotional core of the show to feel realistic, just like the emotional core of the original show was. Or I believe it was, because I wasn't born there, but most people that I talk to really like this aspect of the show. So another thing in comparison to the old show is that I hope they keep the lore consistent, the rules of the world consistent. I would be really annoyed if they made changes or retcons out of nowhere. I really don't like that. And I don't think Buffy has a super complicated lore to remember. So I hope that they will take care of that and take care of those details. Also, I think they could use a little bit more of practical effects this time, because they used a lot of CGI in Buffy that has aged really poorly. Obviously, like usually CGI made for TV in the 90s usually ages. And I think now we are at a place where it's exciting to use practical effects. And I hope the vampires have the same prosthetic face. I hope they don't change the model. It looks so fun. Like, I don't know, I hope they keep this kind of kitschy feeling that the show has. I think it would work well with nostalgia while also keeping the tone, you know? Another thing I hope is that this time the show will have a greater commitment at being diverse. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the OG show, was important with queer representation, I guess, but they didn't even try with racial diversity. And there's a lot of episodes like season 4, episode 8 Pangs, or season 2, episode 4 in Come On Me Girl that have aged rather poorly in their representation. I also hope that this show will have more of an attempt to talk about feminism above just, look, she is a girl who can kill monsters in heels, girl power, this type of like pop feminism, because this is not what the original show was about. And this is something maybe I'm thinking too much about Riverdale, and Riverdale has ended, I think 2 years ago at this point, and like it began in 2018, so maybe, I don't know, 2017. I don't know. I didn't even watch Riverdale. I don't know why this is my metric for that. But, you know, a lot of these shows that were more popular a couple of years ago that were very like pop feminism, I don't want that, because when you stop to think about it, in the original show, the Slayer line itself, it's sort of a metaphor for the patriarchy. Buffy herself says it in her best speech, in my opinion, in season 7, episode 22. She says, I'm going to read the exact words. In every generation, one Slayer is born because a bunch of men who died thousands of years ago made up that rule. They were powerful men. So we see that the Slayer line, this rule is, it can be a symbolic representation of the patriarchy, and then they dismantle this system of oppression by the end of the show. As Buffy herself says it again in the same speech, she says, so I say we change the rule. I say my power should be our power. Tomorrow, Willow will use the essence of this scythe to change our destiny. From now on, every girl in the world who might be a Slayer will be a Slayer. Every girl who could have the power will have the power. Can't stand up, will stand up. Slayers, every one of us, make your choice. Are you ready to be strong? Okay, little note here, doesn't have to do with this video, but this speech was the only moment throughout all of Buffy that I watched that made me cry. I was so emotional. I love this so much, and I love it because I think it's one of the best aspects of the show. Although I think season 5 episode 22, The Gift, is a better finale, and I got really emotional when it meant so much for Buffy's character development to really accept her responsibility as the Slayer and to sacrifice herself to save her sister and the world. It is a beautiful moment for her character development, but it is also showing her kind of just accepting this unfair system that she's been put under. It's like she's accepting this injustice and dying because of it. And the fact that the show actually cares about dismantling the system after that, and the show ends with her wanting to change things to be a fairer, better world, is so nice. I think it was a pretty good way to conclude that patriarchy allegory that the Slayer line represents. And I hope that they do something like this in this new show. I hope that the probably female empowerment message and themes that it will have, because this is sort of a core thing about Buffy, is that it's about female empowerment. I hope it includes some good, nice message about more systemic forms of oppression and how we can fight against that, besides just, oh, people don't believe that she can be powerful and strong because she's a girl, but look, she actually can. The Spice Girls feminism, as we say it. And I hope it's something big and meaningful to you. I think there's a lot that can be explored now, especially because now there's this whole group of girls that are Slayers. I don't know, I just really hope that they have some sort of theme like this. Another thing I hope is that the show is set in California again. Now, there's no practical or storytelling reason why I want that. I just think California sounds like a cool place. I've never been to California. I've never been to the US, but I would like to see California again. Will it be set in rebuilt Sunnydale? We have to wonder. Maybe this new show can be set in the Hellmouth in Cleveland, and they can make jokes about how there's so many monsters because it's Ohio. I don't know, I don't really get the Ohio jokes. I think from what I understand is that Ohio is a place where a lot of really weird things happen, so I feel like this would be appropriate, right? One thing I'm also interested about is how they will deal with the new Slayer system. If the council was rebuilt, this type of thing, I don't think it would make sense if the council was rebuilt, because they sort of represented the patriarchy as characters, and it would be weird if the whole progress not existing anymore, because, I mean, the council wasn't destroyed to, like, defeat patriarchy. It was just destroyed by the monster the first. But, you know, it was still like a symbolic thing. Oh, we don't have the council, we don't have these men controlling the Slayers anymore, so it would be weird if it came back. But I will be interested if they bring something like that back. And I'm sure there will be an exploration of how activating all the potentials into Slayers will have had probably a huge impact in the whole world, and I'm excited to see how this will affect these Slayers' relationship with the monsters they are killing, and I'm hoping to see the Slayers interacting, maybe being friends, maybe having different ways of dealing with being a Slayer, kind of like how we got with Buffy and Kendra before Kendra died, prematurely I might say. Also, have Bianca Lawson come back as Kendra. I don't care that Kendra's dead. This girl has been playing a 17-year-old for like 25 years. I think she can do it again. Let's bring her back, the real vampire of the show. And lastly, it's kind of a stupid thing, but I hope the show has a new sapphic couple for me to get obsessed with and ship very much. That will be exciting, and I hope it happens. Okay guys, I was sort of like excitedly talking about all the fun stuff I want, but now I want to talk about something a little bit more serious. That is, I don't want Nicholas Brennan to be back in the show. I don't want Xander. You can kill off Xander, I don't care. I also hope Joss will not be involved. in this. And that's pretty much it. These are the things I'm hoping for this new Buffy show. I wasn't very exact on specific things I want. I gave the archetype I would like the new Slayer to be, but I wasn't very specific because I think with the premise that we know of the show so far, there's so much that can be done. There's so much that they can do, and I'm really excited to see where they will take the story. If it's bad, it's fine, guys. It's not killing the original show. We can still watch the original one. As I said, this video would be pretty short, and it is because it's just my thoughts. I would love to hear yours too. I want to thank everybody for watching this, and also thank everybody who has been watching my channel now ever since my Yellow Jackets video. I'm so happy it did well and that you guys seem to have enjoyed it. It made me really happy to see all the comments I got, all the thoughts. I got so many comments with theories and stuff, and I'm so excited to do a part 2 of that video. I can't wait for the actual show to come out. I'm so anxious about it in a good way. I'm looking forward so much to it, and yeah, really exciting times. Do you guys like my Buffy t-shirt? Yay! I got it as a birthday present from my friend Luca and my friend Kelvin. Shout out to them. Kelvin also gave me this plush Uzagi, my plush Sailor Moon. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys probably on my part 2 of my Yellow Jackets video, which I'm super excited about. And what else? Oh yeah, I'm moving next month, so things might be a little chaotic in my channel. I don't know how frequently I will be able to post during this time. I hope normally it's what I'm hoping, because I love making videos. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I won't talk too much now. Thank you. I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye. Kisses, kisses. Woo!